Yo, 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 what's going on? It's the NRW with Nerds Rule the World. It's your boy, Kuya P, a.k.a. Patrick Michael Strange, and I'm back talking about Paramount Plus's Mayor of Kingstown, starring my man, Jeremy Renner. Yeah, you might be watching Disney Plus and checking out Hawkeye, but you should also be checking out Mayor of Kingstown here on Paramount Plus. It's some good shit, man. And it's with my man Taylor Sheridan, who's killing it on Yellowstone, that my brother Loy Lee talks about all the time. And I'm gonna give it some time. I'm gonna check out Mr. Kevin Costner doing his thing. But I'm super excited because, as I said on episode 1 and 2 review, that my brother Loy, that's my brother, man. And so I wanted to talk to him about this. I got him to check it out. I will check out Yellowstone for him because he's everything to me. So let's show him. Let's bring him on. I'm super excited to have him here. My brother from another mother, from Kuya and the Kid. Please welcome Loy Lee. What's good, Loy?
Oh my goodness! What introduction made me cry. I don't even. Those are all the words that make hit you right here in the heart.
Got to, man. I miss you, man. I miss the face.
I miss you. I miss the first 2 reviews on the first 2 episodes.
But you're caught up, though.
I am. And I was really excited because I'm always about tell me a story I'm not familiar with. I'm kind of tired of like the same story. And this is very interesting. So in the first episode, we learn that Jeremy Renner is kind of the younger brother to what was the actor's name?
Kyle Chandler.
Kyle Chandler. And he is like he's the unofficial mayor of Kingstown, which is this small town in like Illinois or Michigan somewhere. But they've got like 7 jails in like a 20-mile radius. And he's kind of the go-between. We don't even know what his official title is. He's not a lawyer. He's just kind of I
think he's a bail bondsman, but I don't know. We don't really know.
And it kind of doesn't even matter. It's just like what his actual job is doesn't actually matter. He's got an office and people come to him and they ask for favors. He's like the godfather that works between the prisons, the police, and the people that are on their way to the police and to jail.
The undesirables.
The undesirable. And what happens is he gets killed. He gets killed by a guy. I mean, I guess I don't really need to go too deep into it because we're in the 3rd episode. But Jeremy Renner's character basically takes up the mantle. And then you kind of see how the inner workings of that side of the business works. And I was really impressed because I didn't really know any of this kind of existed. I kind of don't know the jail politics or penitentiary politics. And they do a good job at kind of throwing you into it. There's no tutorial. There's no welcome. It's just, this is what it is. This is how we do it. And it's a great roller coaster because, it's Kyle Chandler. He was in Friday Night Lights. He gets killed off in the first episode.
Big actor out the gate. Like what?
Yeah. I mean, look at the picture behind you. He's the first guy. He's in the forefront.
Yeah.
First episode. God, I like that. And so, Jeremy Renner is a past convict. He is a past felon. He understands how things work probably better than his brother does. His brother is probably on the top side of the law understanding, and Jeremy's on the other side of the law understanding. And it is just the way they place it, the way they pace it. It's very interesting. You just have to get over the suspension of disbelief of like, wait, what's going on? Just take it as it is. Now, this episode 3 opens up as there is a meth lab explosion and a woman and her kid get killed. And the guy that is running this meth lab wasn't even in the trailer. So it becomes this whole manhunt for this one guy. Why? Because the police, the law enforcement, they see the child that got blown up, as they're cleaning. And at that point, they want blood. They want everything even. They're at no cost will be spared. They will do all of the jail politics to get this guy buried under the jail. They don't even want him to see arraignment, which is kind of fucked up. I don't like to know that we live in a world where that is an actual thing, where they want their pound of flesh and they want it now. Forget due process. And I'm disturbed by that. But it makes for good television. Like the episode in episode 2, the guy that killed Kyle Chandler's character, they didn't want him to see arraignment either. They didn't want to book him. They just said, you know what? We're going to have an altercation and one of us is not getting out of this house. So I don't like to live in a world where we know that that's a thing, but it makes for good TV.
All right, there you go. Those are episode 1, 2, and 3, kind of a recaps for all that, and that's what we're going to primarily discuss since we didn't have Lloyd for my breakdown on 1 and 2. So we're going to kind of touch a little bit on those first two. Then obviously this episode 3. Real quick on characters before we kind of talk about,
Please.
our thoughts on this. Jeremy Renner is back as Mike McCluskey. As Lloyd said, he's kind of like our star of this series. Diane West, a great character actress. She plays the maternal figure of the McCluskey family. I've seen her in a lot of work. I pulled her up real quick. She was in Hannah and Her Sisters, The Birdcage, Bulls Over Broadway, Edward Scissorhands. Although I want to say I'm familiar more seeing her on TV and just a lot of amazing roles that she's been on. I see In Treatment on here, Law and Order. She's done a lot of work, but just one of those character actors that just embodies. It helps you feel like you're in these worlds of these films. Just love her work. Just an amazing actress.
Her character is great because she's the mother. She's the matriarch, but like in a Irish Catholic small town manner. So she kind of ebbs and flows, but she knows the rules and she knows how to move around it. And that's what she brings. She brings like that balance.
Yeah. It's interesting. I'm very curious, like that, the relationship between her and her sons. Because if you saw in the first 2 episodes, right? Like when I think one of the kids or clients like came to talk to her and she was like, don't talk to me about them or whatever.
Yep.
Intriguing. Like what happened that made this relationship that way? Just amazing actress in Diane West. You have Hugh Dillon as Ian. Taylor Hanley plays the younger Kyle McCluskey. He had a lot more going on in this episode 3. There was like an argument he had with another character about the involvement of this particular case that they were dealing with the meth lab sting I think they had. And then apparently we found out in this episode he has a wife and they're expecting. That was a very interesting scene in how you deal with a cop who's your husband, comes home from a long day work, obviously affected by that day's work because he lost a colleague, and you want to tell your husband that you're pregnant. Really good stuff there. Real good character building stuff there. At least I thought. I don't know how you felt about that, Lloyd. That was difficult, right? Would you say?
It's hard because you have the day that he loses a partner. So the younger brother is a detective on the force. And then you got the mother who works in the penitentiary as a teacher. And then you got the 2 brothers that kind of try their best to smooth out all the go-betweens. And the younger brother has the worst day at the job. He loses a partner. He gets kicked off of a raid. And the guy that replaces him is the guy that dies in the raid.
Yeah, that's it.
So you have the worst case scenario going home, and then the wife wants to tell him that she's expecting a kid, their first kid. That hurt, just being in the how do you sit on that news for one more day? And you don't. The mom was like, you're the wife, he doesn't get to tell you no. You go and you tell him, you do what you need to do. And it worked out. But it's a balance. Everything in this show is about balance so far, and I'm here for that.
Yeah, and that was a great delivery from Diane West as the mother to tell his her son's wife that there's no
daughter-in-law.
Yes, I can't think today, y'all. I can't think, but her daughter-in-law to just do it. Just good stuff. Good all around acting. I love that.
She says it matter-of-factly, but sternly, but lovingly. Yes. Like it's so many different layers where you just sit there and go, wow, yeah, great. It's one line. It's literally one line. That like, you're his wife. He doesn't get to tell you no.
Yeah, but it hit. Yeah. On point acting. So a great episode, crazy episode. What did you think of this search for this meth head and just some of the interactions? So like we see this meth head, he's cooking shit up. There's a little kid in there. He leaves out, the cigarette falls into the thing and then starts a fire, blows up the meth lab. Kid dies. And then now they're on the chase for this kid. Well, for the meth dealer guy. So the meth lab is burning. and they're now looking for the meth lab dealer. He finds Jeremy Renner. Dude, can you help me? Jeremy Renner's like, nah, bitch, you shouldn't have came to me. Take this tire iron to the face and try to figure yourself out. This is what you can do. There's still some heart in Jeremy. You can tell that he still has a heart, regardless of anything. There's some humanity in him. And then later on, we find out he goes to prison. He does what Jeremy says, but a pound of flesh, like you said earlier, Loy. What'd you just think of all that? And you kind of said it earlier, it kind of hits you hard that this is reality. And then you hate to live in it, or we see it here. But I think what's difficult and difficult for me, and then I'll get into it after you're done, but it ain't too far from what we're living in. And that's what just is the difficult thing for me watching this show.
What's wild is this. I'm fine with it if they're right, but I mean, there's due process, and I don't want to be the amendments waving guy, but I mean, if they're right, the guy killed a kid. Great, he deserves to rot, But we're not allowed to be the judge, jury, and executioner. So that's kind of that weird anti-hero line that I cross, or that I straddle a lot. In the show, I thought it was very interesting because Jeremy has to go to the Aryans and make sure that this hit is fine. Like, hey, just let it happen. He's got to go to the Crips. Hey, just let it happen. It's very interesting how these politics revolve. And when the guy shows up, the guy they're hunting for, he shows up and he's like, the Aryans told me, the Duke told me that we can trust, that I can trust you, that you're trustworthy. What do I do? And Jeremy tells him, and Jeremy in his mind goes, hey, if you turn yourself in, you'll get booked. If you'll get booked, you'll get put into protective custody, and then you'll be able to make your arraignment. Well, he tells him to go turn himself in to make this all work. And as soon as the guy turns himself in, all the cops know exactly who he is, and they're not going to let him turn himself in. So basically they jump him, they throw him into a cop car, which is off scene. And apparently they quote unquote pick him up somewhere, which now they get to put him into general population in holding. And that is where he does not survive. I think that it hurts to know that is a thing. And Jeremy Renner should have been like, hey, turn yourself in, like go to the next town over, go to somewhere where it's not nearby and then turn yourself in there. Maybe you have a surviving chance, because Jeremy wants balance. He doesn't want anyone owing anyone. He doesn't want anybody holding anything over anybody's head. He wants this guy's due process. He wants this guy, the justice that he deserves, the right way. But yeah, it doesn't happen that way.
Yeah, I'm intrigued and I'm enjoying this show, but what's just, I guess, hitting hard is just because of the reality we're also living in the real world, and we're a year into the aftermath of
George
what
Floyd.
happened with Floyd, with just this movement happening, and just there's a lot of I
mean, we can name
politics are
all
changing
the names
in the world. You know what I'm saying? Just there's a lot of conservative thought out there. There's a lot of people in power out there, and just it's scary as hell. And it doesn't help that I work in government and I interact with a lot of people in these kind of areas. And so what hit me hard, and I didn't talk about it in episode 1 and 2 when I was by myself, Loy, was what you touched upon in episode 2 with your recap, was when they go to take the pound of flesh with the guy that killed Kyle Chandler, Jeremy Renner's brother's character in the first episode. They go to the house, they say, hey, grab that gun, and then they shoot him. That gave them the authority now to finally shoot him. And just that fucking just hurt, man, because we've already seen it. We know that this happens in America right now.
It's fine because we are watching the good guys get the bad guys, and there is this distrust of the government and the court system and the killers walking free and all of these things. And I get it. under the scope of the good guys got the bad guys, I'm okay with it because that's the way TV is. But what happens if they got the wrong guy?
Yeah.
You know, what happens if
because we're living that in the reality, in the real world, good people are
Yes.
getting killed.
Yes. Or maybe not good people, but not the bad guy, not
True.
the bad guy.
Yeah.
You know, like, so
Yeah, regardless if they're either good or bad, like you said, there should be due process. That's it.
I grew up in a small town, Boston, you know, where they say the biggest gang is the police force. You know, the biggest fraternity is the police force. And again, when they're good, when the good guys get the bad guys, great, justice is handled swiftly. But what happens if you are seen as the bad guy? What happens if you're on the other side? That's the frightening part. And if you go, well, just don't do anything bad. Well, that's not how that works.
Yeah.
But great show. And again, I love the fact that we don't even need to know what they do. I'm glad that they don't even go into like what kind of office they run. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Don't worry about the title. Just follow the story. Enjoy the roller coaster.
Yeah, it's kind of like what you said when we in our weekly show talking about like video games, where we can just jump in and just go for the ride and just learn as we go. And it's a slow burn, but there's a lot of good, interesting character building. Again, like with this episode, the mother daughter-in-law relationship, that was so interesting. With the wife now, with the younger brother having a child, but also having a hard time at real, you know, I think we can all relate, having a hard time at work and then coming home.
Yeah.
And then having to, you know, I know, especially with a lot of the type of work I do, try not to take it home, but it's in you. And you kind of just got to learn to erase it and just decompress and be with the family, you know, leave it at work.
I do enjoy the fact that they don't use the typical tools of storytelling where they're just like, hey, I'm a police officer. See, you know, they just go, hey, just follow the story, just follow the dialogue. And it's a lot of you'll figure it out. And that's what I kind of enjoy about it, because like you don't need to know all of the backstory and the wasting the time of like trying to introduce characters to have the dialogue to explain who people are. They just go, this is what it is, and you enjoy it.
So yeah, I'm in it. I'm ready to go to episode 4. I'm hoping you'll join me along for this ride with Mayor of Kingstown, Loy.
Where do you think it'll go?
I don't know, but I'm in for it. And I guess that was also partially my question back to you, because you've been watching Yellowstone. You're familiar with Taylor Sheridan's work. Is this a kind of like in the same kind of a clay as Yellowstone? I know it's different because it's like a cowboy with Yellowstone, but in regards to like stories and camera work, if this is what he's doing on Yellowstone, I think I'm definitely going to check out Yellowstone, because I like how this presentation is, if you will, you know, as a film or as a show, you know.
I think it's similar. The storytelling units are different because it's a completely different story, and I think that people understand jail and the law more than they understand being a rancher, and ranchers dealing with gentrification. That's kind of what Yellowstone is. But there's twists in the plot. There's things that you have to watch again to catch, and you see it later come into fruition. But I think Jeremy Renner's character is going to be held over a barrel, and he's going to have to decide imbalance. You know, he's already struggling trying to hold both sides. And I think that at one point he's going to be held over the barrel, and he's going to have to make a change because they brought in that sex worker. They
that from episode 1 still.
I think they're going to use her to get to Jeremy, because, you know, he lives alone in the woods. He doesn't have they're going to use her as a tool to get him to get on board.
Interesting. So I'm in for the ride. Ride.
That's my prediction.
There you go. We'll see if it comes true, brother. I appreciate you joining me for this journey. For everybody else watching this, check out Mayor of Kingstown on Paramount Plus. Hopefully we'll be back with episode 4. And and also Yellowstone, again, that Loy recommended to me. I'm gonna have to check it out and binge a little bit of that so I can catch up with Loy. That's also on Paramount Plus as well, if I'm not mistaken. Right?
It is not, actually.
Oh, it's not. So where's Yellowstone at?
Yellowstone is on Peacock.
Okay.
Yes. But Paramount will have a spin-off, the prequel to Yellowstone, called 1880 3.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and that launches on the 5th of December, so in like a week or two.
Oh, so Taylor Sheridan is just signing deals left and right. I'll work at Peacock and
Yes.
Paramount Plus. Let's make it happen.
Also, if you guys are T-Mobile customers, you actually get a year of Paramount for free.
There you go.
Go look it up on the website. I don't make any money off of this. I just was throwing that out there because I'm a T-Mobile customer and I got Paramount Plus for free for a year.
There you go. Hey, T-Mobile, we love a sponsorship though. We can do more. Lloyd, thank you for joining me, man. This was a great episode. Interesting. I won't stab you up like they did my man, but I'll give you nothing but hugs.
I'm just curious what was in the pillowcase, because
it was nothing pleasant.
It wasn't bars of soap. That's for freaking sure.
Yo, what do you think going out like that, dude? How would you? What would be going across your head knowing that's about to happen?
Oh, I would have turned myself in.
You wouldn't have turned yourself in.
No.
You would have just stayed out.
Yep.
Yeah, that wouldn't have been you.
Nope. Because but by the time they catch me, the heat will. I mean, your whole thing is the wait the heat out.
Yeah, I would say it on the run too. I'm with you. Like, you're gonna die.
Yeah,
everything was against you, so just stay out on the run. Like, you'll live a little bit longer.
Yep.
And
at least on your terms, because you get tossed into Gen Pop, you're done.
Exactly. Everybody was against it, dude. Yeah, I was kind of blown away by that as well. But yeah, he had to go in because that's the show. That's the TV aspect of it. Like,
allegedly, that's what I would do. I would allegedly.
Lloyd Lee, how can they find you or not find you?
Yeah, just say not at your local sheriff's department, that's for sure. Lloyd Lee Comedy.
What a great segue.
Lloyd Lee Comedy across all of your social media, everything. LOYLEE Comedy, all your socials, and then NRW Nerds Rule the World. I'm freaking there.
There you go. That's my brother, Lloyd Lee. Check us out on Kuya and the Kid. Give him all the love. Give him all the follows. For your boy, Kuya P, it's the legend Kuya P on Twitter, TikTok, and IG. Over at the Nerds of Color and Show Pow Show. And of course, here with my brother Lloyd at the NRW and at New Release Wednesday, where nerds rule the world. Until the next time, where we'll become the mayors of Kingstown. Episode 4. Your boy Lloyd, your boy Kuya P. We're out of here.
Bye.
Boom, boom.